We are just 24 hours from voters going to the polls in California. The Golden State will pick two gubernatorial candidates to advance to November's election, and that race is getting really tight in the final stretch. Good morning. Welcome to a brand new hour of National Report. We are so glad you chose to spend part of your morning with us. I'm Edie Hill.
And I'm Bob Brooks. A brand new poll suggests the battle for the state's top job is far from settled. The latest poll is showing former HHS Secretary Xavier Becerra and billionaire Tom Steyer are gaining momentum. Republican candidate Steve Hilton is now urging Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco supporters to now get behind him.
Let's focus on what we all care about, including Chad, which is saving California. There's only one choice if we want to save our state, and that is to vote Steve Hilton and make sure everyone you know gets that message too.
Well, let's welcome Steve Hilton back to National Report, the Republican candidate for California governor. And as we've been telling people, it's a jungle primary there. So it's the top two vote getters that go on to meet each other in the fall. And you just are, suggesting Chad Bianco should be dropping out. So far, he has said no. We'll be talking to him tomorrow as well. But take a look at the most recent poll conducted by Emerson College just a few days ago, Steve. And it is showing that Xavier Becerra is polling at 28%. Steyer appears to have squeaked a little bit ahead of you, 22 to 21%. But there is still a lot of gap between you and Bianco. Do you think he's going to back out?
I don't. I know that I've tried to have that conversation with him and many others too. I don't think that's going to happen. So it's really about Chad's supporters, and it's nothing personal. I like Chad. It's not even whether we agree or disagree about policy. We actually agree on most things. You saw that in the TV debates. We've had a year now for people to make a judgment about the candidates. We've had endless TV debates. We've been campaigning for a year, and now I'm afraid, because we've got this top two system in California, it's not about any of that. It's just about the math. It's very practical. Who can get in the top two? Because if we're not careful, right now, we could be looking at two Democrats in the top two in California, just as you could be in LA, by the way. And so there's a very important point. It is true that if you look at this large number of polls that have come out in the last few days, I am either leading or in the top two in all of them, apart from one, which was the Emerson poll, where I was just third. But another way of looking at those polls is that it's a very close tie for basically three of us, or pretty much tied for the top two spots. And so I'm urging everyone in California to act as if that Emerson poll that showed me third, that's the one that's accurate. We got to fight like we're third, because if we let this chance slip away, and let two Democrats get in there, because I know there are some Republicans who may be thinking, they see some of these polls, they say, oh, Steve's far ahead, he'll be fine, he's definitely going to get in the top two. Let's give our vote to Chad, and then maybe he can get in the top two, and we'll have two Republicans in the top two. Of course, I would love that.
Right.
That would guarantee change for California, but it's not possible.
Doesn't really seem like a real possibility.
That kind of thinking is very, very dangerous, because it could let two Democrats in. That's the reality with one day to go.
So, Steve, let me ask you this. Hypothetically, if Chad wasn't in the race, what do you think your poll numbers would show right now? You in the lead?
Oh, by far, I'd be over 30%. There would be no question that we would have change as an option on the ballot in November. Right now, it's too close. I mean, it really is. But, of course, we can do it. I mean, I'm right up there.
Yeah.
On one poll we had on Friday, it's actually a Democrat pollster that's pretty well respected. I was 27, Becerra was 26, Steyer was 22, Chad was 9.
Yeah. Well, again, they're
it's
polls.
A big gap now.
And as you know, and I think most of our viewers know, you take all polls with a grain of salt, because unless you've taken a look at the exact wording, who they picked, how many people were involved in it, you just don't know. But it's very clear that you are in a tight pack right up at the top there, and it's going to depend on voters showing up. What's the key to getting them out tomorrow?
We can't have another 4 years of one-party rule. And if we don't vote for change, then that's what we're going to be stuck with. The gas price is the highest in the country, the highest taxes for the worst results, the insane extremism on gender. Just this weekend, I was at the track and field championships in Clovis, making clear that one of my day one actions will be to suspend the law that allows biological boys and girls sports, AB 1266 in California. Just today, I'm publishing my first executive order, a new criminal task force to prosecute fraud, including potentially Gavin Newsom and Rob Bonta and Malia Cohn, the state controller, who allowed over $400 billion to be stolen from California taxpayers over the last 5 years. We're going to investigate and prosecute and get the money back. None of that's going to happen if we don't have a Republican governor. The fraud will continue. The taxes, the gas prices, the insanity over wildfires, all of this, the homelessness, nothing's going to change. But we can change it. It doesn't have to be like this. We can vote to make it different, but that chance for change will just vanish if you have two Democrats in the top two. This is a very serious moment. But it's also an optimistic moment, because if people do get out and vote today and tomorrow in California, then we can make the change happen. And so that's why I want to leave people with, like, yeah, we can do this, but don't take it for granted. Don't assume that I'm in the top two. And please don't waste your vote on Chad Bianco or any other candidate who doesn't have a shot at being in the top two. It just helps the Democrats.
Yes, Steve, and I get what you're saying here, and I think the fact you've even made it this far in California, such a Democrat stronghold, as a Republican, that's an accomplishment here. Just again, your last push, your last message to voters would be what, and maybe to who you're running against, Chad Bianco, with this last minute here?
Let's get together. Let's get together and save California, because it really matters. It matters for all of us here. We don't want people to be leaving California, young people to think that they've got to move to another state to have that dream of owning their own home or running their own business. We want to do that in California, and I've got the practical plans to do it. Your first $100,000 tax-free, abolishing the $800 small business tax, no tax on tips at the state level, getting rid of vehicle registration that's crushing everyone with hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds or maybe even thousands of dollars a year. All of that can happen. Getting water to our farmers, opening up our oil and gas production in California so we're not shipping it in halfway around the world. We can get to my target of $3 gas. There's so much great stuff we can do. Common sense, practical things, if we vote for change. And I'm the only change candidate who's got a shot at getting in the top two. Don't let Becerra, Biden's useless health secretary, and Tom Steyer, the billionaire climate fanatic, stitch this up. Got to get out and vote. A vote for Steve Hilton is the only vote that will give us the prospect of change in California.
Okay, Steve, thank you so much for spending time with us again today. Appreciate it.
Of course. Great to be with you. Thank you.
Good to see you, Steve.